Ladies and gentlemen, as a part of Money in the Bank weekend, we also have this special event, Worlds Collide. It is a special event that will include WWE talent and AAA talent. So in case if you are living under a rock, WWE and AAA are partnering together to do this special event. And there are a total of 5 matches on the show. So I'm going to go over every single match and I'm going to give my predictions. The first match I want to talk about is a tag team match, as we have Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Dailies and Cheek Tormenta. So the story on how we got to this match is that Cheek Tormenta and Dailies made an appearance at NXT's Battleground, which happened a couple of weeks ago. They were there to watch Stephanie Vaquer defend the NXT Women's title against Jordynne Grace. And after that, they had an argument backstage. And this continued on NXT when Stephanie Vaquer was defending the NXT Women's title against Jacy Jayne. Chick Tormenta and Dailies were getting involved in Stephanie Vaquer's championship match, but then Lola Vice ended up coming out and evening the odds. And the match ended up continuing after that, and shockingly, Jacy Jayne became the new NXT Women's Champion. And the reason for that is that Stephanie Vaquer is now officially on the Monday Night Raw roster. And last Monday on Raw, she actually qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, Stephanie Vaquer has some double duty to do on Saturday. Now who wins this match? I'm going with Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer. Now I'm sure Dailies and Cheek Tormenta will impress me this Saturday. This will actually be the first time seeing them in ring action. There's going to be a lot of tag team action, as the next match I want to talk about is a 6-man tag team match. It is Legado del Fantasma, which is Berto, Angel, and Santos Escobar versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. And the story is that Berto is not having the best time in Legado del Fantasma. Santos Escobar has been giving him a hard time throughout the past number of weeks on SmackDown. So then, this is what's possibly going to happen here. Legado del Fantasma might lose to these 3 right here. Now I heard that these 3 right here, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano, are really good. So it's going to be a tough challenge for Legado del Fantasma. Who wins this match? I'm going with El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. And like I said earlier, something might happen with Legado del Fantasma after the match. And who takes the pin? Probably Berto. Unless Berto ends up walking out on them during the match. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. Now the next 6-man tag team match I want to talk about is the LWO versus Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana. And the funny thing is, I was asking on social media, and I'm sure everyone else was asking on social media, where was the LWO? But now that we got Worlds Collide, here they are. Now I know what you're gonna say.
There's no story. Why are we doing this match?
Well, don't ask me. Now, as of this recording, NXT just ended. Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana made an appearance. Now, as they appeared, they were announcing that this match was changed actually. I was reading that Joaquin Wilde got seriously hurt, which he had to be taken out of the match. So now it's Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado, who I did not know made a return to WWE. So now, going into this match, who wins this match? Of course, there's going to be a lot of high flying in this match, but I think I'm going to have to go with LWO. I'm sure all 6 of these guys will give us a banger match. So then I want to move on to a huge fatal 4-way match for the NXT North American Championship. The current champion, Ethan Page, will defend the champion against Rey Fenix, Laredo Kid, and Javon Evans. Now, Rey Fenix was in a Money in the Bank qualifying match a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, but he did not make it. And on NXT last week, actually, Ethan Page beat Ricky Saints for the NXT North American Championship. So the story is that Ethan Page ends up celebrating his victory later on in the show. Then Javon Evans comes out and tells him that you're going to need a new challenger, and that challenger is going to be me. But it's not just going to be me, it's also going to be this dude right here. And then Laredo Kid comes out. But then Javon Evans also reminds Ethan Page, it's not also him, it's also this guy. And then Rey Fenix comes out. Obviously, Ethan Page was absolutely pissed off about this because he did not agree to defend the title in a fatal four-way match at Worlds Collide. And man, that four-way match is gonna steal the show. Not just the show, the entire weekend. Now, before you ask me about Laredo Kid, how do you know who he is? I know him because I've seen his clips on TNA, and if I remember correctly, I believe he was in AEW at one point. So yeah, I'm kinda no stranger to Laredo Kid. So now I gotta ask, who wins this match? Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to go with Ethan Page. Why do I say Ethan Page? Because he just won the title from Ricky Saints last week on NXT. And to lose the title in about a week, people would probably say that Ethan Page's North American Championship run is a joke. You don't think I know social media? And now I have a feeling that this match is going to main event the show. It is El Hijo de Vikingo versus Chad Gable. And as of last Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember the day, El Hijo de Vikingo defeated Alberto El Patron, the former Alberto Del Rio, for the AAA Mega Championship. So now this one-on-one match between El Hijo de Vikingo and Chad Gable is now for the AAA Mega Championship. Now, of course, on TV on Monday Night Raw, Chad Gable did not sign up for this. And of course, last week on Monday Night Raw, El Hijo de Vikingo was on the show, and Chad Gable was on the show as well, as he decided to focus on Vikingo. Of course, he ended up assaulting Vikingo, which led to Vikingo striking back. And that made Chad Gable lose his Money in the Bank qualifying match against Penta and Dragon Lee, which, by the way, Penta won. Now, during Monday Night Raw last Monday, Chad Gable said that he is going to be the one to take the AAA Mega Championship away from El Hijo de Vikingo. Will he, though? Because my prediction of this match is El Hijo de Vikingo. I've seen his work before, when he was in AAA, when he was in TNA, and when he was also in AEW. So I'm no stranger to him too. So what about you guys? Are you excited for Worlds Collide? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell for more videos, follow me on Twitter at Ethan Soy Show, and I'll see you on the next one.